Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about something incredibly simple yet life-changing: performing one action every single day. Success doesn't come from big, sweeping changes overnight. It doesn't come from waiting for the right moment or the perfect conditions. It comes from consistency. It comes from showing up day in and day out. One small action every single day builds the foundation for a life of achievement. Think about it. Each day is an opportunity to move forward, to improve, to learn, and to grow. The key isn't in waiting for a big moment, but in seizing the small moments. When you commit to doing one thing every day, it could be as simple as making your bed in the morning, reading a page of a book, taking a small step toward a goal. Anything. But the key is doing it every day. You see, success doesn't require you to be perfect. It doesn't require you to do it all at once. It requires discipline. Doing that one small thing no matter what, and before you know it, those small actions will snowball, they will compound, and one day you'll look up and realize you've achieved far more than you ever thought possible. The key to life, to success, to fulfillment is not in grand gestures, but in the consistency of small actions repeated over time. So I urge you, make a commitment today. Choose that one action, commit to it daily, and watch how your life transforms one small step at a time. You don't need to get everything right all the time. One consistent action done every day will compound into success. The little things you do daily might seem insignificant, but over time they lead to massive achievements. Doing something every day requires discipline. It's the willingness to show up even when you don't feel like it that sets winners apart. Don't overcomplicate it. Choose something small and achievable. Could be making your bed, exercising, or reading a page of a book. Treat your daily action as a non-negotiable part of your day. No excuses, no compromises. Your action doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is progress. Even small progress every day adds up. Hold yourself accountable. When you make it a point to perform that one action, you're making a commitment to yourself. Small actions performed every day create a momentum that pushes you forward, even when you face challenges. Once you perform that one action consistently, it often leads to other positive actions. One small step triggers another. Understand that results take time, but over days, weeks, and months, your one daily action will show massive results that you never thought possible. Success is not something that happens overnight, and it's certainly not about being perfect from the start. It's about being consistent. You don't have to be perfect every single time you take action. What matters is that you show up again and again without fail. Perfection is a moving target, always shifting and evolving, and it can paralyze you if you let it. But consistency, now that's something you can control. Think of success like a journey, a long, winding road that stretches out ahead of you. Each step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to where you want to go. You may stumble, you may take a wrong turn or miss a few steps along the way, but if you keep moving forward, if you keep showing up, you will get there. One step, one action, one effort at a time. It doesn't matter if it's not perfect. The only thing that matters is that you keep going. Consistency is the key that unlocks the door to success. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you need to have everything figured out or be flawless in your approach. But that's simply not true. The magic lies in the commitment to keep going, even when things don't look perfect, even when the road ahead seems long and uncertain. Every time you take one step forward, you're building a foundation for the next one. Over time, that momentum will carry you further than perfection ever could. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions. They'll never come. Instead, commit to consistency. Keep showing up, keep taking action, and know that each small step is one step closer to your success. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be persistent. And with persistence comes progress. And with progress comes success. It's easy to think that big results require big actions, but that's not the case. Small actions, done consistently over time, are the true drivers of success. In fact, it's the little things, the daily habits, the small steps, that eventually lead to the extraordinary results we desire. The power of small actions is often underestimated, but let me tell you, it's those very actions that add up to make a world of difference. You don't need to take a giant leap to reach your goals. Just one small step today, one small effort tomorrow, and then the next day. Keep doing that, and eventually, you'll have walked a path that leads you to where you want to go. Over time, those small actions compound. The key is persistence. Most people look for shortcuts or try to skip steps. But true success comes from staying steady, from the little things done consistently. Look at any successful person or achievement. Behind every great success story, you'll find a trail of small actions. Those small actions add up to knowledge, to experience, to skills, to results. It's the habit of doing a little bit every day that turns into a big difference over time. But when you focus on the big picture, it can be overwhelming. The trick is to zoom in, focus on the small, manageable actions, and do them day in and day out. The thing about small actions is that they don't require huge energy or massive motivation. They're doable. You can always find the time for small actions, but if you combine them over a long period of time, you'll be amazed at how much progress you've made. Small actions lead to big results because they don't just add up, they multiply. A little bit of progress every day eventually turns into something massive. So, the next time you think you need to do something huge to achieve big results, remember this. It's not about taking giant leaps. It's about taking small, intentional steps every day and trusting that those actions will lead you to where you want to go. Keep going, keep doing, and soon enough, those small actions will have created something far bigger than you ever imagined. Discipline is the backbone of success. It's the one thing that separates those who achieve their goals from those who simply wish for them. You can have the best ideas, the greatest plans, and all the talent in the world, but without discipline, none of that matters. Discipline is what keeps you on track when motivation fades, when things get tough, and when distractions try to pull you off course. You see, motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the weather. One day you might feel inspired to take on the world, and the next day you might find yourself lacking the energy to get out of bed. But discipline, that's a different story. Discipline doesn't rely on how you feel. It's a commitment you make to yourself. It's the willingness to do what you need to do, regardless of how you feel in the moment. It's about developing habits that support your goals and sticking to them even when it seems easier to quit. When you're disciplined, you don't let obstacles get in your way. You don't let excuses dictate your actions. You push through day after day because you know that success doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment, but from taking consistent action. Think about it. The people who achieve extraordinary results are not the ones who wait for inspiration to strike. They are the ones who wake up every day with the discipline to do the work, to stay focused, and to keep moving forward no matter how hard it gets. The journey to success is a marathon, not a sprint, and discipline is what keeps you running even when you feel like stopping. When you commit to discipline, you're committing to the process, not just the outcome. You understand that the rewards come over time, not instantly. The effort you put in today may not show immediate results, but over the long term, it builds momentum. It's that steady, disciplined effort that transforms potential into reality. So if you want to achieve anything worthwhile, you must develop the discipline to stick with it. It's easy to start, but it's the discipline to keep going that leads to lasting success. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and you'll find that success isn't as far away as you think. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of big ideas, the allure of grand plans, and the belief that success comes from doing something extraordinary. But the truth is, the best way to begin any journey, whether it's personal, professional, or financial, is by starting with something simple. Too often, people hold off on taking action because they're waiting for the perfect strategy, the right timing, or the ideal circumstances. But that's not how success works. The key is to start small and start simple. When you begin with something simple, you set yourself up for progress rather than overwhelm. You don't have to have all the answers, all the details, or all the resources right from the start. All you need is a starting point. It might be as simple as writing down your goals, making one phone call, reading a page of a book, or just setting aside 5 minutes a day to work on your dream. The key is to take that first step, however small it may seem, and begin the process. Starting with something simple takes the pressure off. It's not about taking massive leaps all at once. It's about creating momentum, building confidence, and establishing habits that will carry you forward. Once you've taken the first small step, you'll realize that it's easier to take the next one. And then, before you know it, those small, simple actions will snowball into something much bigger. When you try to do too much at once, you risk burnout, confusion, and frustration. But by starting simple, you allow yourself the space to grow at a manageable pace. Success doesn't require you to know everything from the start. It requires you to start. And starting simple is the easiest, most effective way to begin. As you begin with simplicity, you'll also start to see that consistency is where the magic lies. By doing something simple every day, you build a foundation of habits that will eventually lead to bigger results. Over time, your simple actions will compound, and you'll be amazed at how far you've come. Remember, it doesn't take a grand gesture to make progress. It's the simple, steady steps that build a path to success. So, don't wait for the perfect plan or the right moment. Start simple. Take that first step and let the simplicity of your action create the momentum that will carry you to where you want to go. One of the most powerful things you can do in your pursuit of success is to make your actions non-negotiable. So many people start with great intentions, but when the going gets tough, when distractions creep in, or when they simply don't feel like it, they begin to negotiate with themselves. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow, or I'm too tired today. And that's where dreams begin to fade. You have to decide that your commitments are non-negotiable. This means no excuses. No bargaining with yourself. When you commit to something, whether it's a goal, a daily routine, or a task, it must become part of your life, like brushing your teeth or eating meals. It's something you do without question every single day. You can't afford to treat your commitments as optional. If you do, you'll find yourself constantly starting over, never making progress. Making your habits non-negotiable is about setting a standard for yourself and holding yourself accountable. It's about saying, this is what I'm doing no matter what. That's where true discipline comes from. The key to success isn't in the big moves you make every once in a while. It's in the little things you do every day, consistently, without wavering. The days when you don't feel like it are the most important ones to show up. This is where champions are made. Think about it. If you want to get in shape, you can't negotiate with yourself when it's time to work out. If you want to be successful in your career, you can't decide to skip important tasks just because you're feeling lazy. You make it a non-negotiable habit. You get it done, no matter what. Over time, this level of consistency becomes a part of who you are. It becomes second nature. And you'll find that your non-negotiable habits aren't just leading to success. They're transforming you into the kind of person who achieves their goals. When you make something non-negotiable, you're telling yourself, this is the standard I live by. This is the kind of person I am. And it's the small things done regularly that will compound into big results. Success doesn't require perfection, but it does require commitment. And the more you stick to your non-negotiable habits, the more you'll find yourself moving closer to the life you've always dreamed of. So, make your actions non-negotiable. Show up, do the work, and let your results speak for themselves. Too many people get caught up in the idea that success is about being perfect, that every action has to be flawless, every step has to be the right one, and every decision needs to be the absolute best. But that mindset is what stops most people from even starting. The pursuit of perfection can paralyze you. If you're constantly waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions, you'll never take action. The truth is, success isn't about being perfect, it's about making progress. Every small step you take, every effort you make, every lesson you learn along the way adds up to something much bigger. Progress, not perfection, is what moves you forward. And progress is something you can control. Perfection, on the other hand, is an illusion. It's a moving target that you'll never quite hit. When you focus on progress, you shift your mindset from one of fear and doubt to one of growth and possibility. You stop worrying about getting everything exactly right and start focusing on getting better, step by step. You don't have to be perfect to succeed. You just have to be willing to take action and improve along the way. Think about it. Every successful person, every great achievement has been built upon a series of mistakes, failures, and imperfect steps. It's the willingness to keep going, to keep making progress, that separates those who succeed from those who give up too soon. It's not the perfect plan that leads to results. It's the imperfect execution, the willingness to adjust, to try again, and to keep moving forward that creates success. The key is to celebrate progress. Celebrate the small wins, the lessons learned, and the improvements you make every day. Don't wait for perfection. Don't wait until everything is aligned. Just take the next step, however imperfect it might be. In doing so, you'll find that progress doesn't just move you closer to your goals, it builds your confidence, fuels your motivation, and eventually leads to the results you're after. Perfection is the enemy of progress. If you try to get everything just right, you'll never start. But when you focus on progress, you allow yourself the freedom to fail, to learn, and to grow. And that's where success is born. Keep moving forward, keep improving, and trust that your progress, no matter how small, will take you further than perfection ever could. Accountability is one of the most powerful forces you can harness in your journey toward success. You can have all the talent, all the drive, and all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't have accountability, it's easy to let things slide, to make excuses, or to allow yourself to stay comfortable in the status quo. Accountability forces you to stay on track, to meet your commitments, and to follow through on your promises, especially when no one is watching. When you have someone, or even just yourself, holding you accountable, it gives you a sense of responsibility. It's no longer just about what you want to do, it's about what you said you would do. And that's the key to making progress. Because here's the truth. Most people will do more for others than they will do for themselves. When there's someone else in the picture, whether it's a coach, a mentor, or even a friend, you're much more likely to push yourself harder and take action faster. Why? Because you know you'll be held accountable for what you say you're going to do. But it doesn't always have to be an external person holding you accountable. In fact, one of the most powerful forms of accountability is the one you create within yourself. When you set your goals, you have to commit to them with integrity. You have to hold yourself to a higher standard. Every time you follow through on your word, every time you complete a task you promised to do, you reinforce a pattern of accountability that fuels your progress. The more you hold yourself accountable, the more your confidence grows and the more momentum you build. Accountability isn't about punishment or guilt. It's about setting standards for yourself and following through. It's the knowledge that when you make a commitment, you're not just saying it, you're going to do it. And if you slip up, it's about getting back on track, not giving up. Accountability doesn't mean you're perfect. It means you're honest and you're willing to stay true to your word. This commitment to accountability accelerates your growth. It pushes you to take that next step, even when you don't feel like it. It forces you to stop procrastinating and take action. It's the catalyst for progress, because when you have to answer for your actions, you make better decisions, stay focused, and keep your eye on the prize. So ask yourself, who or what is holding you accountable? Are you being honest with yourself about the promises you've made and the actions you need to take? Don't underestimate the power of accountability. It's the fuel that keeps you moving forward, even when the road gets tough. And the more accountable you become to yourself and others, the more likely you are to reach your goals and fulfill your potential. Consistency is the secret ingredient to success, and it's what turns ordinary efforts into extraordinary results. It's the small, steady actions you take every single day that build the momentum you need to move forward, even when the path seems long or challenging. Without consistency, progress is just a fleeting moment, easily lost in the shuffle of life. But when you commit to showing up every day, even in the face of difficulty, that's when the real magic happens. Momentum is a powerful force, and it starts with consistency. Think of it like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it might start small, and you might not see a huge difference right away. But as you continue to roll it, it begins to pick up speed, grow in size, and gain more force. The same thing happens when you consistently take action toward your goals. At the beginning, it may feel like progress is slow, and you may question if it's worth it. But over time, the more you commit, the faster things will move, and the more momentum you'll build. The beauty of consistency is that it makes progress inevitable. You don't have to rely on bursts of motivation or wait for the perfect conditions. By showing up consistently, you are automatically creating a forward-moving force that drives you toward your goals. It's not about doing it all at once. It's about doing something, anything, every day. When you make the effort to stay consistent, you start building the momentum that propels you, and you begin to see results that might have once felt out of reach. The key to consistency is understanding that the process itself is as valuable as the result. When you focus on showing up every day and taking small, consistent actions, the results begin to take care of themselves. You're not just chasing a goal, you're becoming the kind of person who achieves it. You're building habits, discipline, and a work ethic that compound over time. Consistency also helps you weather the storms. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, or when things just aren't going your way. But when you've built the habit of being consistent, you have something to fall back on. You'll push through those tough times simply because it's what you do. And in doing so, you'll continue to build that momentum, one small action at a time. So if you want to make real progress in your life, don't rely on inspiration or motivation to get you through. Rely on consistency. Make it your foundation and watch as the momentum you create carries you further than you ever thought possible. Each step you take, no matter how small, adds to the force that will ultimately drive you toward your success. Stay consistent, and the results will follow. One action often leads to another, and this is where the power of momentum truly comes to life. You see, success doesn't always come from one giant leap or a monumental decision. It comes from taking that first small step and then letting that step lead to the next one. The beauty of taking action is that it doesn't just stand on its own, it creates a ripple effect. Every time you take an action, no matter how minor it seems, it sets something in motion that propels you forward. Think about it. When you wake up early to work on your goals, that simple action of getting out of bed sets the tone for the rest of the day. You're not just starting your morning, you're beginning a chain reaction. Maybe you follow up with a task you've been putting off, and that leads to another task and another. The more you act, the more your momentum builds, and before you know it, the little actions have turned into big progress. This is how success works. It's not about waiting for everything to fall into place before you start. It's about taking that first step, trusting that it will lead to the next, and then the next, and so on. The first action doesn't have to be perfect or even fully planned out. The key is to take it. Once you begin, things start to unfold. New opportunities appear, ideas flow, and progress happens almost by accident. That's the power of action. It leads to more action. But here's the thing. When you don't take that first step, nothing happens. The potential remains locked up, and you end up stuck. It's the hesitation, the fear, or the waiting for the right moment that holds most people back. But the truth is, there's never a perfect moment to start. The perfect moment is when you decide to take action, no matter how small or imperfect it may seem. The more you act, the more you create a pattern of progress. And as you build this pattern, you'll find that one action leads to another, and then another, creating a cycle of growth and forward movement. The small, simple actions begin to add up. And before long, you'll realize you've accomplished more than you ever thought possible. So start with that first step. Don't wait for all the answers or the perfect conditions. Take action. And once you do, you'll find that each action will naturally lead to the next, building momentum and moving you closer to your goals. Success is never just about one big decision. It's about the series of small actions that, when combined, lead to great things. One action always leads to another. And that's the key to creating real, lasting progress in your life. Results don't come overnight, and if you're expecting instant success, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. True success is built over time through consistent effort, hard work, and the patience to see it through. If you want to achieve something worthwhile, you have to understand that it's a journey, not a quick fix. In fact, most of the time, the best results come after a period of struggle, failure, and persistence. The process isn't easy and it's rarely fast, but it's always worth it. We live in a world that's obsessed with quick results. With social media, ads, and instant gratification everywhere you look, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that success should happen fast. But let me tell you, nothing of real value comes that quickly. Think about it. Nothing that's truly worth having comes without effort and time. A tree doesn't grow from a seed into a towering oak overnight. It takes time, it takes nurturing, and it takes the right conditions to grow. The same applies to your goals. The mistake many people make is giving up too soon because they don't see immediate results. They try something for a few weeks, see minimal progress, and then throw in the towel. But real progress doesn't work that way. Results come gradually. Every effort you make compounds over time, and you may not see the full impact of it until months or even years down the road. But trust me, every action you take, every small step you move forward is building a foundation for future success. This is where patience comes in. You have to trust the process. The work you're putting in today may not show up on the scoreboard tomorrow, but it's adding up. Each effort, each lesson, each failure is teaching you something valuable and moving you closer to your goal. The key is to stay the course, to stay committed to your vision, and to keep pushing even when it feels like nothing is happening. The truth is, the people who succeed are the ones who keep going even when they don't see immediate results. They keep showing up, doing the work, and staying consistent. And one day, when they look back, they realize that all of those small efforts have added up to something monumental. It wasn't fast, it wasn't easy, but it was worth it. So don't get discouraged if you don't see instant results. Keep putting in the work, trust that progress is happening behind the scenes, and know that the best things in life don't come quickly. They come to those who persist, to those who stay committed, and to those who understand that results take time. Stay focused, stay patient, and your results will come in their own time and in their own way.